Guys, what's going on? Johnny the Supplement Advisor. So here today with a very special review on Dark Labs brand new pre-workout being Crack Reloaded. And as you guys can tell, that label is freaking splendid, guys. Really, truly one of the best labels I've personally seen in my existence. Now I've seen a whole bunch of labels. So anyways, what makes this one so special, guys? Well, basically they would talking about a brand new pre-workout, and no one really knew what this pre-workout would have, how it would be different. You know, I knew from the get-go it had the name of Crack. So to me, I was like, how can this one actually be different? What's going to be so different between this Crack OG and Crack Gold? Well, basically the difference between them all is that this one actually excludes any DMAA or DMHA, which makes this quite special in many regards, because as you guys know, Dark Labs love to use the DMA and DMHA, and that being said, it obviously has gained a lot of popularity from the hardcore stimulant junkies out there in the world, myself included. Absolutely love Dark Labs. Their stuff is absolutely phenomenal. Their pre-workout Crack Gold won my stimulant pre-workout of the year last year, and rightfully so. That's how freaking bangs, bro. So it has a lot to live up to. But let's get into this ingredient profile real quick. And as you guys can tell, this ingredient profile is no jokes at all. It is extra long, so do stay tuned. I'm going to quickly go through this right now. So guys, firstly, up in the mix we have your citrulline malic 2-to-1 ratio. I'm going to go put 2 scoops. So 2 scoops, you're going to get a nice 6 grams. This obviously helps with performance, recovery, and obviously blood flow as well. Next up, you got your beta-alanine clinical 3.2 grams. This helps with performance and recovery. Next up, you got your choline tartrate. That helps with mood and focus elevation. That's there at a gram. You got your agmatine sulfate at a gram 2 for pumps. Then you got your lion's mane at a beautiful gram as well. And this obviously helps with cognitive function and also helps with brain health as well. Again, a gram is a real good dose. Next up, you got your alpha GPC, which is your more advanced form of choline. This is here at 600 milligrams. Remember, the standardization is 50%, so you're going to get 300 milligrams of pure goodness there, and that stacks nicely with choline tartrate for sure. Again, obviously going to help with mood and focus. And then you got your and then basically this mix has 7 stimulants inside. I'm just not going to go list each and every single one, but I mean, it does have some derivatives of PEA inside, and also has different forms of caffeine, being your caffeine citrate, being your caffeine anhydrous, and also your decaffeinated. Obviously you get citrate is super fast, whereas anhydrous is fast, and then you got your decaffeinated, which is slow. And obviously this gives like a great synergy altogether, because less of a crash, it's just more of a long-lasting kind of energy throughout your workout. So yeah, that's why they're utilizing 3 forms of caffeine, and it really does help. It really does work. And then lastly, to end it off, you got some fat loss properties in your synephrine, and basically all stimulants have fat loss properties. And then you got your nopept, which is a nootropic, there 30 milligrams, and then you also got your alpha yuhinban at 2 milligrams, and lastly you got your huperzine A at 100 micrograms. 100 micrograms is a good dose. 150 milligrams is normally the upper end, but 100 micrograms is still a very good dose. Can help improve memory and also help with cognitive function. So guys, that's basically the summarization of this label. Of course, it's not too in depth, but we can be here the whole day. So let's get on to the flavor. So the flavor I got is Tangerine Orange. Guys, as you could tell by my experience right here, okay. Damn, the taste. Okay, I have to change the score. Damn. It is like, it's rough. Flavor's not the best, but then again, it's not terribly bad. It's just very harsh sometimes, especially near the end, where you're going to hit those, those finer points, those little floaties at the end. That's where it gets really rough. But you can kind of tell it's like a sweeter flavor, very strong. So my advice is probably have more water and probably to chug it down, honestly. So flavor gets a 5 out of 10. Again, not the best flavor. Crack OG does taste better. Crack Gold to some extent tastes better, but I guess it all depends on what flavor. So far I've only tried the Tangerine Orange. I do really want to try the other 2 flavors, see how they are. Definitely I need to try the other flavors, because as I'm going to get to now, as I'm going to allude to this, the effectiveness of this stuff is bonkers. So firstly, it's very different in my opinion to Crack OG, and it's kind of a slightly different to Crack Gold. Now I say different in a good way. To me, the energy is very livable. You're not going to get ultra anxious. You're not going to have that kind of feeling of you're going to die. And I've had that feeling quite a few times with Crack Gold, where the heart rate just really shoots up, especially if you take a break from it for a while, because as you guys know, the adrenals get real used to stimulants. So if you use the same pre-workout time and time again, like 3, 4, 5 times in a week, it's going to hit you a lot it's not gonna hit as hard as it initially did, but but when you take a break and when you use that same kind of pre-workout, it really does hit hard. And for me, honestly, this doesn't give me that kind of, anxious kind of feeling, but it does give me like a nice, powerful, uplifting, like energy that's long lasting. And another thing to mention as well, there's no crash on this whatsoever. I didn't feel depressed. I mean, I know personally my wife, she took it, she said she felt a bit deeper after the workout. I guess it can happen, guys. I mean, like, listen, there's 7 stimulants in the mix. There's even more than 7. I think there's 8 actually combined with the alpha hormone. So there's basically 8 stimulants, and obviously it's going to hit hard. It's going to hit your central nervous system hard. It will hit some harder than others, but for me personally, I felt like after the pre-workout too, my day was good. There's no real crash. I didn't feel that. I felt like a prolonged energy even past my workout, which is amazing, which I found the energy to be a lot more pure and clean than the Crack OG and the Crack Gold. So that's where the different factor comes in. It's not as hard hitting, in my opinion, as the Crack Gold, but at the same time, I prefer something like this where I don't have a crash, where Crack Gold sometimes gives me that kind of post-workout crash, which is not really that good, especially if you're doing like an evening shift and you take this in the morning. If you take Crack Gold in the morning. So I think that's where the different kind of the main element comes into play, is that energy isn't as hard hitting, but to me it's better in that regard because I don't have that depression after my workout. I don't have that crash after my workout, which makes this one better. I said it makes it better. And I said it because, I mean, it's pretty shocking because it doesn't have DMAA or DMHA, but you cannot tell that straight off the bat, because the stuff does still hit really, really hard. If Crack Gold hits a 9.5 or 10 out of 10 when it comes to just pure stimulation, this will come in about an 8.5 or 9 in my opinion, still making it like a top tier stimulated pre-workout. But another factor here that really makes this different from the Crack OG and the Crack Gold is the focus and just the cognitive function. I mean, I felt so much more productive on this. I felt like I wanted to do a lot more in my day than just have a workout. Again, it was good, crisp, laser focus, which I found way superior than Crack Gold or the Crack OG, to be honest. As I said, there's a lot up in this mix for cognitive health and function. You got obviously your NOPEP, you got your lion's mane, you got your columbar tartrate, and you got your alpha GPC all up in the mix. And obviously they work synergistically with stimulants, and again, there is a flurry of stimulants up in the mix. So everything really works phenomenally together and phenomenally well. And next up, pumps. The pumps are better than Crack OG and Crack Gold in my opinion. I think it's very tight between this and the Crack OG, but I just felt, just because the energy was so clean and pure, you really had extra oomph to push in your workout. Whereas sometimes if you would use a Crack Gold or even a Crack OG in some regard, you might feel a bit winded, out of breath, because the stimulants do knock you really, really hard. But with this, I felt that I was able to push more, and I felt the pumps were really good because they were really painful. And sometimes during sets I literally had to stop because the pumps were getting so extreme. So when it comes to, again, pumps are better, clean, pure energy is better, focus, euphoria, mood elevation is better. So is this better than the Crack OG and the Crack Gold? Damn, that's a tough one. That is a tough one. But honestly speaking, what I like about this truly is that even if you use this at a 1 scoop, it does the job. It still does it very, very well. You still get a productive workout. Not as strong or hard hitting as a double scoop, obviously. But with that being said, you can stack this with the stim-free pre-workout, and you have great, productive workouts, high on energy, high on focus, and just great performance and elevation. And that's another part too, performance, guys. You will be pushing harder, you will be sweating more, you will be doing more than what you used to with your other generic pre-workouts for sure. So, end of the day, guys, Dark Labs have done it again. They have made a pre-workout that's potent, that's strong, that's just crazy, crazy good, but without the DMAA and DMHA, and I think they deserve a salute for that. Yeah, I'd even take off my beanie for that, because they deserve that. This pre-workout is so good, Crack Reloaded, that it's the leading pre-workout of choice for me in 2022, just because it does the job so well. And again, guys, for those that don't want the DMAA and DMHA, and also because I think it's becoming harder to source and to find the authentic stuff. And obviously people question if Crack OG and Crack Gold have the authentic stuff, and obviously the other products, but I don't question that, because when I use it, it works. And to me, that's all that matters to me, if it works or it doesn't work. And this stuff works. But for them to exclude it and for them to make a pre-workout just as good, if not even better than the whole range, I think, again, they deserve massive props for that. And if you haven't tried it and you're curious about it, or you just think it won't work as good because it doesn't have the DMAA or DMHA, guys, you know, trust my word, this one freaking claps, and it claps beautifully well. And in so many regards, it is a better pre-workout, and it is something that I would rate above all for now, until the only people that could beat this right now would probably be Doc Labs themselves, and who knows what they bring into the future. But all I know is that this pre-workout right here is a freaking banger, and it's something I highly recommend. And to me, again, the best pre-workout of 2022 yet. Don't know what tomorrow holds, don't know what the end of the year holds, but for me right now, this one does the job and does it supremely well. So big up and big thank you to the guys at Doc Labs, all the way from Poland. Damn, it's like I'm in Poland right now with my beanie on. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys, and please remember to like and subscribe, and remember to get this if you haven't tried it. Cheers, guys.